Hello, everyone. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Welcome to Fridays with Sandy. That would be Sandy Kreisberg in Boston. There he is, HBS Guru founder.
Guten Tag, shalom, and welcome aboard, everybody.
And we have a really fascinating candidate who I'm really happy to welcome, Nihal from Egypt. We don't often get candidates from the Middle East, and when we do, they're rarely female. So we're really excited to talk to Nihal about her chances at MIT Sloan, NYU Stern's tech program, Carnegie Mellon Tepper, Chicago Booth, and London Business School. Now, here are the stats. She has a 670 GMAT, and you might think that's low, but that's actually 210 points above the median for test takers in Egypt. She's got a 3.93 GPA from the Arab Academy for Science and Technology. For 8 years, she's worked in HR technology as a consultant for a firm called CivilSoft. So there you have it.
Nihal, you're a very powerful candidate. John's presentation didn't highlight that. You're a woman, you're from the Middle East. Tell me about the Arab Academy, where you got a 393. Where is that located, and what's the program, and what do people usually do there? Is that the leading college in Egypt?
It's one of the top 5. It's located in Alexandria, Egypt, but they have branches across the Middle East.
Okay, good. So you went to a top tier. We're going to call that a top tier college academy in Egypt. And tell me about CivilSoft. This is real important because you spent your whole career at CivilSoft, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is CivilSoft?
Okay, so we're in the field of HR technology, human resources. So we provide.
Good. What does that mean? Good, excellent. Yes. Yeah. What does that mean? What is HR? People go HR technology.
Yeah, we do HR applications. So we help companies with software for recruiting, performance management, payroll. So we basically automate the HR function.
Great. Okay, I understand.
Like a Middle Eastern version of ADP in America.
Yes.
Good, but do you have any metrics about the size of the company you can share with us?
Well, it's a smaller size company, so less than 50 employees, but over 20 years of experience.
That's 20 years old is important. Do you have any metrics about customers or sales, or it's privately owned? Yeah, this is important for the folks out there. If you don't work for a brand name company, it really helps on your resume and your applications to establish its bona fides through a number of ways, including how long it's been in business, how many employees there are, what the sales are, things like that.
If it has a market cap, what its customers are. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, customers is a good way to establish your bona fides here. Like you work for one of your customers is the Egyptian Ministry of Planning. Okay. That's
yes,
real important to mention.
Multinational companies such as the DHL logistics company, Panasonic, I think. Yeah, we have like.
Yeah, you mentioned a few of those names, and immediately they provide credibility for your employer and therefore for you.
Yes.
Good. If you can capture that in your application, man, with a 393, 8 years of work experience, female from the MENA, Middle East, North African region, you got a lot going for you. I hate, the tough love is, I started with this and I'll end with this. Take the GMAT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Right now your quant score is 41. That's not only, that's something where an admissions officer who even likes your story a great deal scratches her head and says, I really love this candidate, but she might have trouble doing the work here. I mean, that's concerning. So you just gotta focus on that.
And tell everyone who's going for an elite MBA program, what are the splits look like generally? What should you be aiming for? So she's got a 90 verbal, which is amazing, and a 41 quant. What should people typically be looking at?
80-80. That's a way of making the GMAT go away. So an admissions officer looks at 80-80. The first thing that she says is, this person could do the work here, okay? So now it only becomes a matter of cosmetics, Are we going to take this person versus that person for our own selfish need to go up in the, Business Week rankings, okay? But the first thing you got to get through, in your case, since you're such a valuable candidate in terms of so many other things, they'll give you a break on the GMAT, but the 41% quant is concerning. But for 80-80,
yeah, now I don't think she's going to get a 41 up to 80. But she walks in with a 700.
What have you done on practice tests?
The best I've done was a 48 twice, like Q48, not a 48th percentile.
Yes.
All right, I feel for you.
And we should point out, just to put some perspective on this, is that when Sandy's talking about an 80-80 split, we're talking about your chances of getting into an M7 school, a Harvard, a Stanford, a Wharton, MIT, Columbia, Kellogg, Chicago, Booth. There are plenty of other places that have great MBA programs where an 80-80 split may not be, below that a problem.
That's a good point, John. And also, even at the M7 schools, even at Harvard and Stanford, there are people with 620 GMATs, okay?
Yeah.
You could be one of those people, okay? Like if you were some white guy who went to, St. Paul's Prep School in Yale, and, you worked for McKinsey and you had a 620 GMAT, I'd say they're not going to wink at that. But in your case, they will, because you're just rare in terms of the applicant pool.
And again, they do look at candidates, particularly outside the United States and outside of India and China,
right?
In the context of what the average scores are in their countries for the GMAT. So the fact that you 210 points above the GMAT for your country is very consequential, but the 41 quant is concerning.
Yeah, okay. So we've beat her up enough about that.
Yeah. The other thing I'm going to say, just to motivate people to retake the damn test, which we know we hate. Sandy and I hate the damn test. We hate the game that goes on where people are having to get higher GMAT scores just to satisfy the US News ranking. But here's the deal. You get a higher quant score, your chances of getting scholarship money and significant scholarship money go up as well. So not only do your chances of admission go up, the chances that you're going to get money and paid to go up big time.
Yeah. Also, companies nasty. John, what stinky companies ask for your GMAT score even after you get into business school? Like you're in business school
McKinsey,
you're interviewing
Goldman, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. There you go. You're 6.
Yeah. So those companies ask for your GMAT. You think it goes away after you get in, but if you're interested in working for those companies, maybe not on your mind now, Nihal, but you never know what happens when you get to Cambridge, man.
Yes.
Get some funny ideas.
Now, Nihal, have you been promoted in the 8 years that you've been there?
Yes. Well, we don't follow like strict job titles and roles. So being a smaller company, like I'm wearing many hats with my same job title maybe, but I've done marketing for the first 5 years or so, and then I moved on to consulting and product management.
So Sandy, isn't it important to shape her career experience in a way that shows increasing progression? So
yeah,
your level of responsibilities have been expanded significantly since you joined the company, and then you go through what you just said.
Yeah, you did a pretty good job on your resume, man.
Yeah.
Your resume, in terms of how you just quickly say CivilSoft is a Dubai-based enterprise software firm specialized in human capital management. And then you gave 4 very juicy bullets about projects you worked on. If you go on the internet and look up how to write an effective resume, that's exactly what they will say. Okay, tell your story through the bullets. Like this is just for the folks out there. Her first bullet is manage the implementation of our HR system at the Egyptian Ministry of Planning, transforming the HR function from 100% paper-based to automated and reducing costs. Okay, that's a very powerful bullet.
Yeah, huge.
That explains the company, that explains your engagement. You know how to do this. You got a lot of pluses going for you.
You know, that's at 90 verbal, Sandy.
Yeah, that's true.
What about her school choice, Sandy? Obviously, MIT Sloan and Chicago Booth are the reaches here. And then she has Tepper, London Business School, and Stern Tech MBA. That's the accelerated 1-year program at NYU. What do you make of that?
Where do you want to work? Where do you want to work when you graduate?
Well, my plan is to come back to Egypt and return to my HR tech career at CivilSoft.
Are you going to be sponsored?
One question is, why would you want an MBA in America?
For the quality of education and the network, and like it would push me out of my comfort zone, like very much.
Well, those are good answers. And we'll call MIT, we'll call Sloan a reach. We'll Stern Tech MBA. John, tell the folks what that is. That might be a great choice.
Yeah, so that's a 1-year accelerated program for people who are interested in taking a technology type job with their MBA program. So, you know, there are fewer electives in that program. It's faster, it's cheaper. It's still at NYU Stern. You still, you know, are with the full-time MBA program, the 2-year program. So it's sort of an accelerated option.
So that really works for her, doesn't it?
Yeah. So would Cornell Tech as well, which is also in New York City and has a beautiful new campus. That's a possibility as well. And New York City would be an exciting place for you to come.
Yeah, so compare Cornell Tech in New York City to Tepper. Not that I've got anything against them, but.
You know, I think Carnegie Mellon is really super good. It's hard. I mean, that's a 2-year program, and the Cornell Tech program is also a shorter program on a brand new, sexy campus on an island in New York. Just a subway stop away from Manhattan.
Okay.
It's very experiential. The Cornell Tech program is more experiential than the Carnegie Mellon Tepper program.
Boy, you really know this stuff. How do you know this stuff, John?
I've been on all these campuses. I've sat down to dinner and coffees with students and faculty and administrators all over the world.
John Byrne, the frequent flyer professor of poets and quants. You got a lot of miles, right?
Okay, what if Nihal gets a 710, which is what she's getting in her practice test? And what if she can get that quant score up to, let's say, 60? Does she have a shot at Harvard or Stanford?
Got a shot at Harvard, that's for damn sure. They'll blink just because everything else is so powerful. Stanford might do the same. There are people at Stanford. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, you hear about people at Stanford and you go, well, this guy's got a 650 GMAT. You go, how did that happen? There are people like Nihal. They have other assets to bring to the program. You know, in Stanford, you know, you only need after you've had your fill of people with 750 plus GMATs, it gets a little boring, and you go, what else is there out there?
So Sandy, let me give you a quiz.
Yeah.
How many women from the Middle East are enrolled at the Harvard Business School in any one class of 930 people? We're talking fewer than the fingers on one hand.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I'm making just a guess.
Mm-hmm. That's huge. So you get that GMAT up, and you're in competition.
Yes.
Serious competition.
Yeah, I think about, well, if it's important to you, I've said it before, take the GMAT 10 more times. Just say, this is what I got to do this year, is take the GMAT, nothing else counts. It pays off for the rest of your life.
If it takes getting a tutor, a one-on-one tutor, for maybe 5 hours, 10 hours, it's worth it.
Yeah, and you don't need any other advice, man. You know how to do this. This resume is great. This could be a resume you hand out as a sample for how to do a resume.
So let's keep our GMAT score where it is with that quant score. What are our odds at MIT Sloan, Sandy?
Not good. What they might do, and I don't know, they might make an accommodation. They might say, we want you to take courses over the summer. We'll admit you provisionally. Or I don't know if they've got a kind of remedial track over there. Do you, John? Even an unofficial one?
I do know that this year, right now, MIT Sloan is waiving GMAT and GRE scores.
Well, there you go.
As is the entire university is waiving SAT and ACT scores. So that's an interesting decision in and of itself. You apply to MIT, should you submit a 670 with a 41?
No.
No. Stay with your 3.9 GPA.
Yeah, John, that's a great point. Yeah, you should apply to without the GMAT in the picture.
Yeah.
Man, you're a very strong candidate there. Just convince them you want to go.
And the 3.9, as well as the courses that she has taken at Coursera and Audacity, which we haven't even talked about here, should help convince them that she can do the work.
Yeah, well, yes, I think they'd be very attracted to you.
So our odds at Sloan with the 670 41 quant would be 15%, 20%.
Yeah, but without it, boy, the odds go up a lot. Your odds of being interviewed are incredibly high. And then it just becomes an issue of not having a radical event occur at the interview, which usually doesn't happen.
In Chicago booth, the odds are slightly higher because they're going to see fewer candidates like Nihal ever in Chicago. You say 25% with that 670?
Yeah. With the GMAT score, what you would need is luck to get an admissions officer who just becomes your supporter and says, we're going to take this woman and we're going to make it happen and we're going to support her once she gets here. And, whether you're going to come up against that person is random, or some admissions officers say, I want to protect the schools. I don't care about no human capital. The only thing I care about is school ranking. That's a lot of admissions officers.
Yeah. And then the odds at Stern Tech MBA and Carnegie Mellon Tepper, probably 40%, I think.
Without the GMAT.
Again.
Without the GMAT, boy, you raise such an important point, John. If schools are waiving GMATs, Nihal, you just had a big break in your life, honestly.
Yeah.
So I should just apply for a waiver, right?
At MIT.
I think Tepper is offering that as well, but
right.
I'm not sure if I should go for it.
There are quite a few schools now that are waiving GMATs and GREs, primarily because the pandemic has put a lot of pressure on the test and the
testing sites. Yeah. Well, that's great news for you.
Yeah. Now, still, again, I will still emphasize that if you do get the better score and you're able to submit it, you're going to be more likely to get scholarship money, and just boost your odds. So here's another thing for you, Sandy. You said the odds at MIT Sloan are probably 15% without a GMAT score. Let's say she gets a 710. What do the odds change to?
What's the quant part of that 710?
Let's give her a 65. I'm not going to go as high as 80 because that's hard.
Okay. First of all, I wouldn't submit it if I didn't have to.
Okay.
Okay, but just for theoretical purposes here, what are the odds? 25, 30%. Once again, there's a randomness to it because you've got to find an admissions officer who's willing to take a chance on you. And
yeah, be your advocate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you got
it. Having worked at the admissions office, I won't say that.
Now I'm wondering what you were about to say.
Yeah, right. You can figure out what I was about to say. Okay. Nihal, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good luck to you. We're really impressed with your background, what you've already been able to achieve.
Apply to Harvard Business School, please.
Yeah,
please.
You're gonna get into a great school.
What would make you not apply? Why didn't you pick it?
To where?
Harvard.
I did apply to Harvard.
Oh, okay. It's not on our list here. Did you apply round 1 or round 2?
Round 2.
Okay.
2 days
and you
ago.
applied with your 670?
Yes.
Okay. So Sandy, what do you think the odds are at Harvard with a 670 41 quant?
30, 40%. I think your odds of being interviewed are high. And at the interview, they might inquire more, or they might help you out or make some private arrangement. Just arrange for something or ask what's up with the quant.
Yeah. And you could have, a lot of schools have sort of math boot camps for people like you.
Right. Exactly.
During the summer before you matriculate.
Yeah, they might say, we'll admit you provisionally, you got to go to math boot camp.
And incidentally, when you retake the GMAT, resubmit your score to Harvard, even though it's late.
That's
right?
Yeah, they'll take any score. They don't care when it's. Yeah. Just get it to them.
All right then. Hey, Nihal, good luck to you. Thank you for joining us. Good luck. We're rooting for you. Sandy, thanks again. This is John. You've been watching Fridays with Sandy.